Okay, let's dive in. Imagine this for a second. You have that thing you really rely on most. Maybe it's, your job security, a key relationship, something that brings you happiness.
Right. You know exactly where it is, feels permanent.
And then one day, it's just, well, it's less. Or maybe gone completely, without warning.
Yeah, that feeling, that abrupt shift, that's really what we're tackling today. We're taking a deep dive into Dr. Spencer Johnson's book, Who Moved My Cheese?
Mhm.
It's incredibly popular and seems simple on the surface.
Right. And for this deep dive, we're working from a really thorough summary and analysis of the book's core ideas. Our mission really is to cut through the story, pull out the most important, actionable insights about handling change.
Because change isn't an if, it's a when, always. The
Exactly.
book uses this very straightforward metaphor. You've got a maze and these tiny characters,
Mm-hmm.
two mice, Sniff and Scurry, and two little people, Hem and Haw,
Little people, right.
and they're all searching for cheese, capital C cheese.
And she's, well, it's basically anything you want in life, isn't it?
Precisely. Your career, good health, peace of mind, success, whatever you value.
And the real story kicks off when that cheese, it moves or disappears entirely.
Mm-hmm. And how they react, their struggles, their eventual breakthroughs. That's where the powerful lessons are buried.
So we're going to unpack those today. Hope you understand not just the concepts, but maybe how you can actually navigate those moments when your own cheese, starts to shift or just vanishes.
Okay, so let's start with the fundamental reality the book really hammers home. It's the absolute starting point for dealing with any change.
Yeah, absolutely. And it feels almost too simple to say, but it's foundational. Change is going to happen. Expect it.
It sounds obvious.
It does.
Yeah,
But not truly internalizing this, that's where so many people get completely stuck, right?
exactly. Nothing stays static. Your industry evolves. Relationships change. Even your own interests or health, they shift over time. What the book shows so clearly with Sniff and Scurry versus Hem and Haw is that anticipating change makes all the difference. The mice, they're simpler, maybe more instinctual. They notice the cheese supply shrinking.
They're paying attention.
They are. So they're kind of mentally ready if it disappears.
Mm.
Hem and Haw, though, they're relying on comfort, routine. They're totally blindsided. They wake up one morning, go to the usual spot, and poof, empty.
It's like knowing a software update is coming for an app you use all the time. You might not like it, but if you expect it, you're not shocked when your favorite button moves or the whole layout changes.
Right. You might even look for the update notes beforehand.
Whereas if you ignore all the notifications, suddenly everything looks different and you're completely lost and frustrated.
And the analysis we looked at really underscores this. Expecting change isn't about being negative or pessimistic. It's just about being realistic.
Repair.
Prepared.
Okay.
It suggests making it almost a habit to ask yourself, okay, what if this situation shifted?
Yeah.
What would my next step need to be? Just that mental exercise keeps you agile.
Like a little mental fire drill.
Exactly. Reminding yourself daily, nothing stays the same forever. It builds that mental muscle. Maybe even keep a quick note, like in a journal, about areas that feel solid now but where change could happen. Just to keep it top of mind. Stay curious.
Okay, so let's say you've either expected it or maybe it's hit you anyway. What's the biggest trap then? What keeps people from actually dealing with it effectively?
Well, what the book illustrates so vividly is how inertia just sets in. So the second critical lesson is don't get stuck. Adapt quickly.
You're right.
The moment Sniff and Scurry see the cheese is gone, they don't waste time. They don't analyze it to death. They immediately leave the empty station and start exploring the maze again, looking.
And Em and Haw.
They stay put, they complain, they blame things, they just wait, hoping it'll come back. They are completely paralyzed by the change, rooted to the spot.
And, oh man, you see this in real life constantly. Someone loses a job and they spend weeks, maybe even months, just feeling angry or sorry for themselves, waiting for something magic to happen.
Instead of immediately doing something. Anything.
Yeah, like updating their resume or calling one contact. That waiting period just digs the hole deeper, makes it harder to get back on track.
The core message here is that any action is better than inaction. The source material really emphasizes taking even a small step as soon as you recognize the change.
Don't wait for the perfect plan.
Exactly. Or the perfect moment. It won't come. If a project gets canceled at work, don't just maybe spend 15 minutes brainstorming alternative ideas or looking into related projects. Just that tiny bit of momentum, it stops the stagnation that traps Hem and Haw.
But why is it so hard? I mean, why is taking that first step sometimes feel impossible? What's that invisible wall that keeps people stuck, even when staying there is clearly obviously not working.
Well, that brings us right to a huge barrier the book explores in depth. Fear can hold you back. Big time.
Fear, the unknown.
Yeah, Hem is almost entirely defined by his fear. He's terrified of leaving the empty cheese station, terrified of the dark maze, terrified he won't find new cheese.
Just terrifying.
Totally. Hall is also afraid, definitely. But he reaches this point, this crucial point, where he realizes the pain of staying put, of starving, is actually becoming greater than the fear of venturing out.
That tipping point. It reminds me of that friend who, hates their job but is just terrified of looking for a new one. Or someone who stays in a really unhappy relationship because the thought of being alone or starting over seems too daunting.
Yeah, they build up the unknown into this massive monster in their head.
Yeah.
Often way more terrifying than the reality turns out to be.
So what does the book suggest? How do you deal with that fear?
Well, the analysis from the source really encourages acknowledging it head on. Don't pretend it's not there. It suggests asking that simple, powerful question. What's the worst that could actually happen?
And really thinking it through.
Right. Often when you write down the concrete possibilities, they're far less scary than the vague, shapeless anxiety. So maybe write down your fears. And then, just like with taking action, break down facing that fear into tiny steps.
Tiny steps again.
Always. If you're scared to learn a new skill you think you need for a career change, okay, just commit to watching one short introductory video today, 10 minutes. If you're scared of networking, fine, commit to sending just one email or LinkedIn message. Small actions chip away at the fear's power.
And that fear, combined with maybe getting too comfortable, can also make you blind. Blind to things happening right under your nose.
Precisely. Which leads straight into the next key point, paying attention to early signs.
Okay.
This ties back to expecting change, sure, but it focuses more on the active monitoring aspect. Sniff and Scurry weren't just generally prepared for change. They actively noticed the cheese supply at Station C was getting smaller, maybe getting a bit old, before it vanished.
They were aware of their surroundings.
Yes, Hem and Haw. They were so comfortable, maybe complacent, that they completely missed these warning signs. They took it for granted.
Think about a company going through subtle shifts. Maybe small budget cuts here and there, a few key people leaving quietly, the tone of leadership messages changing slightly.
Yeah, those little things.
If you're paying attention, you might see the writing on the wall and think, maybe I should update my skills, or maybe I should casually network a bit more.
But if you're not paying attention...
Then the eventual layoff, if it comes, feels like a complete shock out of nowhere.
Right. So the takeaway is to regularly check the pulse of your own cheese situation. How secure is this job, really? How healthy is this relationship, really? How stable is my current market? The book implicitly advises against getting so comfortable that you stop monitoring.
Don't fall asleep at the wheel.
Pretty much. If something feels slightly off even a little bit, that's your cue to start thinking proactively, planning potential next steps before a crisis forces your hand. It's about spotting the slow leak, not just reacting when the pipe bursts.
Okay, so the change hits. You're maybe starting to move, or perhaps you're forced to. One of the heaviest weights you can carry then is looking backwards.
Oh, this is a huge one. Absolutely huge. Stop clinging to the past.
Let it go.
Hem is the poster child for this. He spends an enormous amount of energy and time just hoping, wishing, waiting for the old cheese to magically reappear in the exact same spot. His mind is completely fixed on how things used to be.
Wasting precious time.
Totally. Haas struggles with this too, initially. He misses the comfort, the predictability, but eventually he has that breakthrough. He realizes staying stuck in the past is literally preventing him from finding anything new in the present.
It's like that person who constantly talks about their high school glory days or romanticizes a past job or relationship so much they can't see any good in their current situation or future possibilities. That nostalgia becomes a cage.
And the book and the analysis of it are quite firm on this. You have to accept that the past is gone. It's not coming back exactly as it was.
That can be tough medicine.
It is. But reminding yourself that holding on to the past prevents moving forward is key. You have to shift your energy entirely to the now and what you can create next. If you had a business fail, okay, acknowledge it, learn from it, but don't just relive the failure. Focus on what you learned and how you can apply those lessons today to something new.
But moving forward, especially after being stuck or feeling really fearful, it can feel like you have to leap across this giant canyon. It seems overwhelming.
And that feeling is exactly why the book emphasizes taking small steps forward. So important.
Not a giant leap.
No, you don't have to see the whole path. You don't need to know exactly where the new cheese is hidden. Hawes' journey through the maze is not a straight line at all. He wanders, he hits dead ends, he gets discouraged sometimes.
Sure, it's realistic.
But every single step he takes, every corridor he explores, even if it doesn't immediately lead to a stash of cheese, it builds his confidence. It teaches him something about the maze. It gets him closer.
This is incredibly practical advice, isn't it? If you want to start a new career, don't feel like you need to quit your job tomorrow and have the perfect next role lined up.
No way.
Just maybe commit to updating your LinkedIn profile this week. That's it. Or researching one potential new type of role for an hour. Or reaching out to just one person in that field you're curious about.
Those small, manageable actions build momentum. It's the difference between saying, I need to run a marathon, which feels impossible,
Totally overwhelming.
and saying, okay, I'll just walk for 15 minutes today.
Mm.
That feels doable. You can build on that.
Right.
And the source analysis highlights celebrating those small wins, too. Finding even a tiny bit of cheese along the way, or even just making a note on the wall about what didn't work in a certain corridor that provides the motivation to keep exploring. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. It fuels you.
Which brings us nicely to the final and maybe the most transformative lesson from the source material.
Yeah, I think this one really shifts the perspective.
Yeah.
It's enjoy the process of change.
Enjoy it. That sounds counterintuitive, especially when change feels scary or disruptive.
It does. But the book shows us through Hawes' journey that change isn't just about the destination finding the new cheese station. It's fundamentally about the journey itself.
The getting there.
Yes, and the person you become along the way. Hall learns to let go of his crippling fear. He learns to explore. He discovers things in the maze that aren't cheese, but are interesting or helpful in some way. He learns he's more capable than he thought. Change forces growth.
It's kind of like maybe moving to a new city or starting college. Initially, it's uncomfortable, right? You miss what was familiar.
Definitely.
But as you navigate it, you discover new favorite cafes, you meet incredible people you never would have known, you learn skills you didn't expect to need. The discomfort of the change itself actually facilitates discovering new parts of yourself and the world. Things you wouldn't have found by just staying put.
Exactly. And the analysis suggests reframing that journey through change as an adventure. Try to focus on the learning, the new experiences, meeting new people, developing new capabilities. Even in the challenging moments, try to look for what you're discovering or how you're becoming more resilient.
Find the upside, even when it's hard.
Yeah. Celebrate the progress, the exploration, the simple act of moving and learning. The real reward isn't just finding the new cheese, but in building the capacity, the confidence to go find it again and again whenever it moves in the future.
So, bringing this whole deep dive into who moved my cheese, together the core message, simple as it seems on the surface, it offers a really powerful framework.
It really does.
First, change is inevitable. Expect it. And keep an eye out for those early signs. Don't be complacent.
And don't let fear paralyze you or clinging to the past keep you stuck in an empty station.
Adapt quickly when change does happen. Get moving. And break that journey down into small, manageable steps. Don't try to do it all at once.
And crucially, try to find a way to appreciate and learn from the process itself. See the journey as part of the reward.
Embracing these principles isn't about making change easy, because often it's really hard. But it's about equipping you, the listener, with the mindset and the tools to navigate it more effectively, proactively, and ultimately maybe find something even better on the other side.
And that's the surprising power hidden in this simple little story. Change isn't inherently your enemy. It's a constant invitation, sometimes a forceful one, to grow, to adapt, and maybe discover new possibilities you wouldn't have even imagined if your old cheese had just stayed put forever.
So here's something to think about in your own life right now. Is there a situation where you're experiencing change, or maybe anticipating it, but you find yourself resisting it, really digging your heels in? Could that very resistance be blocking you from a significant opportunity for growth or discovery?